Shalom Hadassah, welcome. I love you, Hadassah. Welcome, Shabbat Shalom, Harvey. I'm just getting the room set up. Welcome. Welcome, Harvey.
Hello, how are you?
Good, I'm getting everything ready.
Okay, can I help you with anything?
Yeah, you can help me with the shofar blast. Do you have a shofar?
Yeah, I do, of course.
You want to get it? We're going to blast before shofar, before Shabbat.
It's been a year, I should try it.
Yeah, go for it. Try it now. It's fine. That sounds good. That sounds very good.
That'll do. You want to blow the shofar, Sherman? Shermy?
Hi, Harvey.
Hello, Hadassah, how are you?
Say hi. Be friendly. It's all good. We're early. Getting things ready. You get to watch me get things set up. Just like if you came to temple early.
That's a beautiful ceiling you have in your room.
Yeah, isn't it? Isn't it gorgeous? This is my
Yeah.
meditation room. This is my prayer room.
Is that right? That's beautiful.
It's upstairs. It's like the attic.
Uh-huh.
But it's been all redone with beautiful wood. You would love this room, Harvey.
Knotty pine, it looks very nice. And timbers, I like the timbers.
Yeah. Well, this is the top of the house. You know, you've seen my house.
Only inside the front door.
Well, you're always welcome.
That's not going to work. Let's see. I'm trying trying to get it to where my candles will show.
Yeah, that's nice if people's candles show.
Well, I'm trying to adjust my laptop.
Well, you know, you'll see mine, I'll see yours. We'll be seeing each other's lights, the light of our hearts.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh.
Yeah, I was able to do
Yeah, cool.
Okay, I think I have the space ready. I think I have the space ready. Let me just double check.
Your hollow is getting a little bit brown. I don't know.
Good Shabbos, good Shabbos. Good Shabbos, good Shabbos. Good Shabbos, good Shabbos. Good Shabbos.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat,
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat
Yay!
shalom. Shabbat, 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 shalom.
So Cindy, I'm gonna make you co-host. I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to do that.
Okay.
I'm working on that.
Nicole,
Yeah,
Nicole, I have a question.
yeah.
I have a challah in the oven and it's turning brown, but is it supposed to be hollow when you like hit it a little bit?
You know, if it's turning brown, I mean, how long have you been cooking it?
It was for 35 minutes and I have another 11 minutes.
Maybe turn your oven down. What's your oven at? And it's already brown?
375.
Yeah, turn it down to 350. Okay, where is the co-host option? Anybody can help me with that? I forgot how to do
I
that.
think it's under, okay, hold on. We just did this. Under participants.
Okay, I go to participants and then what do I choose? Invite, copy invite links, no. Invite contacts, no.
But in the bottom line here, you should have one that says participants.
Yeah, I have participants. I'm trying to get Cindy to co-host so she can admit people. Meeting settings.
What if you go onto yours, under your thing, Nicole, under
Yeah.
participants, into Nicole, do you
Okay.
get choice of mute or more when you click?
Oh, right. Let's look at me. Mute, spotlight video, rename.
Oh, damn. Do they change this since we've been on here?
Well, you know, I may not have said it properly when I set up the meeting, you know, so that's
No,
why
but
we're,
you can usually do it during the meeting. So
let me look at chat. Sometimes chat, no. All right, we'll get there. We'll eventually get there. Meeting settings, it should be that I should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Share screen. Okay, fine. Chat, rename, unmute, that's fine. Meeting topic, mute upon entry, no. Always show meeting controls, touch up my appearance, no. Show name when participants join, show my connected time, show my video and gallery view, always show meeting controls. I don't need to touch up my appearance. Okay, well, I guess we'll just keep admit all. I'll just have to open the door for people unless we can figure this out. Let's see.
I'll look it up.
Invite.
Oh, we're talking.
Invite.
Oh, barbecue.
Send message. Maybe I can set, no, cancel. Okay. Maybe I can go to you and I can choose you as meeting host. Aha, make host. That's it. I have to go to you.
Oh,
I
okay,
go to
you can do it.
you,
Okay.
and then that's how we do it. We figured it out.
Thanks, Nicole.
All right, see if you're there now.
I am, and it says I'm the host.
Toda. Okay, you are letting folks in.
All right.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Hi, Deva. Shalom. So wonderful to have you all here. So we're going to start in 4 minutes. 4 minutes to just chat. I'm still getting things together. And we're going to do a few pre-Shabbat things. So get yourselves whatever you need and come and go as you want. And it's all very relaxed and casual, okay? You can't do anything wrong in my service. Impossible.
Love that. Hadassah, how are you doing? Hi.
I'm doing better.
Good. Good.
I have moments, but I'm doing a lot better. Thank you.
Yeah, I know those Fridays sound like those are a little difficult, kind of difficult for you, huh?
No.
No?
I'm more busy because I'm, prepping for Shabbos and everything. But no, I didn't know how it would be because I actually found out on Shabbos morning. But Friday, late afternoon, it was kind of iffy. I didn't think it was so.
Right.
But Shabbos hasn't affected that. I'm
Good.
glad of that.
People are already here.
You too.
Yeah.
That's great.
If we get any kids.
Good Shabbos. Welcome. Everybody say hi. I'm getting everything together. Have fun.
Hello.
Talk to each other.
Hello.
What?
Hey, that's my mom.
Oh, it's the Shabbat service is starting.
I'm the mom.
Hi, Helen.
Want me to bring it up?
Helen.
Great to see you.
Welcome. Shabbat
Richard,
shalom.
you made it.
Yeah, we have a
Richard,
different rabbi tonight. Okay.
My mommy's here.
No, she's tomorrow night, but I this one, she looks pretty exciting too.
Which one?
Very different. Very
Where's the child? Hello? Is it Ira? Who's here?
It's Kathleen.
We're gonna bring it upstairs.
Who's got a kid?
Kathleen.
Kathleen?
Haggadah,
My God, yeah. Everybody say hi. I'm still getting everything together.
No.
6:28. You
Nicole,
just came to
Nicole.
shul, and I'm still
Nicole,
getting
stop
everything together.
yelling. Nicole, stop yelling, please.
Okay.
Just talk.
Okay. Thank you for the reminder. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here's your paperwork, this other stuff.
I just took my challahs out of the oven.
Nice.
I'm starting to get a collection of egg cartons for you.
Oh, okay. I keep on telling
Okay. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Welcome.
You don't have to talk that loud, Nicole.
Well, you can turn yourself down. This is how loud I talk.
Okay, I will turn it
My
down.
daughter.
This is
No,
my
no.
volume.
You don't usually talk that loud.
No, I actually do. I just turn myself down for everybody else. But this is my normal volume. I just I'll try to be quieter, but I think you guys can control your volume on your end. Is that correct?
Yes.
That is correct, but that means that anybody else talks and I won't be able to hear them very well.
I'm sorry. I'll do my best, Caroline. This is who I am right now. So
I accept you as you are. I love you.
I love you too. So
There we go.
I wanted to welcome you all, and some of
There we
you
go.
I know, and I think I know everybody here, but I want to give everybody a minute to introduce themselves. So please don't be muted. And I would like to just, Cindy is my co-host, so she will be admitting people. And in general, you can be muted. There will be times when we do things together. I want to let everybody know it's totally fine to come and go. I am not attached to you being present for everything. I have a generous service tonight, so I'd like to invite you to eat your food, to have your, we're gonna say Kiddush early, so you can enjoy your meal and eat, and I won't be disturbed by that in any way. Or if you need to go, that's totally fine. You won't be disturbing me at all. So this is a very casual, friendly service. I'm going to show you my room in a minute, but I first want to just let everybody introduce themselves. And I can't see you in any kind of order, so just give everybody a second. Introduce yourselves as you feel inclined. I want to introduce my mother because she's who gave birth to me, and she's here. And then me and her, you know, are kind of a team. So I want to introduce my mother, Helen Redmond. I'm so honored that she's here, and I'll let her introduce herself.
I'm happy to be here. I will be going in and out. I'm still cooking. So I don't know what to say. Nice to see you all.
Say where you are, Mom. Say where you are.
Oh, I'm in San Diego, and we're lucky to be where I live. I'm near the coast. I'm not in fire. I see Marjorie there. I'm sorry that you're all having, I know it's so intense and close to us too, but it was a better day here in the San Diego area. I can't speak for anything else. I haven't been that in touch with the news, but we're okay here. My husband and I are here in San Diego. Okay. That's it.
Nice to see you, Helen. I'm Marjorie Feldman, and I have this beautiful rose to present to my beautiful Shoshana friend. Love. And yeah, I tried to pick flowers in the garden, but they were just covered in ash. It's very smoky here. We have very bad air quality in Roseburg, Oregon, but we're safe. And I am sad for a lot of my friends who live nearby who lost properties today, over the last few days.
But Mommy, it's about one way or the other for her to be here, and we're not. And dinner's ready, guys. Go.
And this Randy, you are down in Florida. Marjorie, happy belated birthday. I'm so sorry you weren't able to.
Thank you. Thank you.
Besides everything being covered in ash and the sky being, at least it's not red and dark. So I'm very grateful that it's just smoky and ashy. And here's
Wow.
Whoa, beautiful.
Wow.
Caroline, would you yell a little louder? Because I can hardly hear you. Just a little. Just really.
Okay, Joe, your turn.
It could
to
be my
introduce
hearing.
yourself.
It could be my hearing. I may give it that, but.
Hi everyone, I'm
Thank you for leaving.
I'm in
tonight.
Bayside. My mom and dad are also in San Diego.
Welcome, Mitra. Shabbat Shalom.
Where am I? Oh, right here. Okay. Let's see.
I'm Harvey Rader, and I'm glad to be here. It's a pleasant evening. The snowstorm has stopped, and and I'm a nearby neighbor. I'm just down the street about a block and a half, and much closer for services here than at the temple, but I'm looking forward to it.
Harvey's a board member too. I want to add that.
Yes.
He's been a past president and active participator in this local Jewish community. Richard, you have too. Lots of people. And so I'm Joe Hale. I serve as president. I serve as president of the temple. I love coming to these Friday night services. I see people I don't get to see all week. I see people I don't get to see hardly at all, and others are new faces. Pretty cool. So here's an old face for new faces. Thank you, Nicole.
Oh, my pleasure.
So I'm Kathleen. This is my daughter Kira.
Hi. This is my son Levi.
And they're
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
And where are you guys?
We're
Arcata.
Arcata, thank you. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
I'm Sylviane, and I want to say hello to many people. First, Marjorie, that I missed to see, and I would have not kissed you anyway, but it was very special, weird.
Special weird, yes.
So weird. I'm happy to see Harvey. So
Likewise,
nice
to see you too.
And to see Helen. So nice to see you. And everybody else, but those people are more out of town and special to me. And here is all the flower I just picked from my garden.
Wow.
And I put them in a vase. So I was kind of honoring this flower dedication, I guess. And well, I better cry. So anyway, I don't know what else to say. It's my first time on Friday night Shabbos, thanks to Nicole, I guess. Oh, anyway, it's very nice to be here, especially before the high holidays. And
Getting close.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Cindy. I'm co-hosting, as Nicole said, and I'm a neighbor and a friend of Nicole's. I'm just down the road, actually, and so nice to see you all. This is a full house almost. I have 2 more little squares on my screen. Anyway, glad you're all here.
Bob is trying to come in.
Yeah, he's having some difficulty. I'm not sure what it is.
Oh, okay.
That often happens when Bob is joining a meeting. It takes him it takes the computer a long time to connect.
Okay. Anybody else hasn't? I think Deva, can you say hi?
Hello, everyone. I'm here.
Are you in Eureka or Berkeley?
Yes, I'm back in Eureka.
Okay, I'm glad you are home.
Drove through fire.
You drove through fire. That's a song. We won't be singing it, but it's a good song.
Yeah.
Glad you're back, Deva. I'm Richard.
Hi, Deva. Shabbat Shalom.
Oh, miss you.
Okay, is that everybody except for Bob? Has everybody introduced themselves?
I see Hadassah now.
Oh yeah, Hadassah.
What about
Hadassah?
And I don't
I'm
think we've
honored
heard
to be
from
in your
Rich.
presence via Zoom.
Didn't
Been
I
kind of a
think
weird
that-
week. Shabbat Shalom. I don't have flowers, but I have shofars.
Good. We're gonna blow the shofar in just a minute. That's great. I will want you to blow. Okay, Richard.
Yeah, I'm here in Eureka, trying to avoid the smoke going outside.
Yeah.
And my white truck that I just washed turned gray.
All right. Well,
Next is my black truck then.
welcome everyone. I'm going to ask you to mute unless you are a shofar blower. And we are going, those of you who do not wish to hear this, then, you know, I'm sorry. We're going to do our best. We're going to do the calls. Could one of you do the calls? I mean, I can do the call. We're going to do Tekiah, Shivarim, Teruah, Tekiah Gedolah. That's the order. But before we do it, sorry, I just want to show you where we are. So you're now entering the Nicole zone. We don't blow the shofar on Shabbat. This is before Shabbat. And we're also going to be saying some prayers of healing before Shabbat. So actually, we're going to back up a bit. I just want to include, and we're going to light this yard site candle. So I have a yard site candle here. It's big. It's also 9/11. So I wanted to acknowledge that and remember all the harm and all the hurt and all the death that has flown from that moment many years ago. it was also when I had my bat mitzvah, 5 days after 9/11. So I wanted to lead this service especially because it's Nitzavim, which is my Torah portion, because it's 9/11, because I feel like I have a connection, we all do, to that date. I have a connection about trying to uplift people post that. And so I want to carry that forward. I feel like Hashem gave me that opportunity. So tonight we are taking a breath between contractions in the world. And I invite you to do that any way you can. This candle is specifically also for Wade, Hadassah's son Wade. Also for Stephanie Stone's son, it's almost his yard site, and Ari. And I'm not sure if she's going to join us or not, but she definitely is in, you know, remembering her son. For Kylie, who died of 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago. For Lesher in our congregation. For Lauren Sarabia's father, Irv Cohen. I think Cindy may have a list of other yard sites that we're saying. Do you have that in front of you, Cindy? Could you unmute and say those names?
I can. Leon Bernstein, remembered by Vicki Bernstein and Scott Malcolm. Aria Patricia Manenbach, remembered by Hadassah Daw. And Stella Mendelson, remembered by Pam Mendelson.
And is there anybody else that wants to be named? Please unmute yourself and say the name of who you want this candle for tonight to be. Yes, Hadassah.
My late husband that passed away in 2015, Lois Gordon Harris, and my mother, Geraldine Sarah Miriam.
Anyone else observing a yard site tonight?
My cousin Jane Waltman passed away this week, and her memorial was today.
Oh, Marjorie, so sorry. Anybody else have they're saying Kaddish tonight? Later we'll say the Kaddish, but I just want to know their names before I light the candle.
Maybe we should say, isn't it, it's still in the 30 days for Lauren Sarabia's father, Irv Cohen.
I did say his
Oh,
name,
you did.
Irv
I so
Cohen.
apologize.
That's fine. We're happy to say it twice.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else we haven't named, we're thinking of you. You're in our hearts. And if you have a yard site candle, feel free to light it. We're going to light it now. I'm going to light this one. I'm also saying for my sister Paula, because she's part of why I have double the volume, double the energy of anybody else, because she is part of me, even though she left this world right before I was born. So those of you who didn't know my sister, which is only my mother who knew her, but she's in me. She's in me. For Paula too.
I'm going to say I just got this birthday gift from my friend Vicki McGuire.
Okay.
And I'm wearing it for Shabbos. She made it from her son Ryan, who passed 2 years ago. From his shirts.
Okay, you're cutting in and out, Marjorie. I'm not sure why, but thank you for sharing about that. All right, and then before we blow this tequila blast, I want to also just take a moment to, I don't want to say all the names because there's a lot of us, but I'd like you to imagine whoever you need to that needs healing. We're going to blast the shofars and then we'll say the prayers for healing. So please hold in your mind and your heart anyone who you feel needs the refuah shlema. It can be yourself, it can be the earth, it can be the firefighters, it can be all of those people. And as we blow the shofar, I'm going to give a little teaching afterwards, but I want you to just hear the blasts and let them enter you. So I invite you, if you're not blowing the shofar, to close your eyes and listen with your whole body. And I'm going to stand up and we'll see if I can still be visual, but you don't have to see me to experience the shofar. And I'll call the blast before we do them. Tekiah! Wow. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, Tequila Gadola?
Yes, that was, oh, you want to do another Tequila Gadola? Harvey, go for it. We did one, but do another.
That's the co-op.
Woo! The strength, the koach of our kahila, of our congregation. Mazel tov, all of you. What lungs we have, what power we have, what we bring to Shabbat. All right. So now I'm going to invite you to mute yourselves, and there'll be other times to participate, and I will invite you for that. Yeah, welcome. Okay, I'm going to show you where we are. I know you're in your home, but I want to show you my special home. So this is my meditation room. This is the corner that's got my shaviti. Can everybody see that? I can't hear you. I'm just going to walk around. So this is the air corner. There's a painting by Marjorie Feldman. There's a painting by my grandmother, Perla. Here is a totem pole by my grandfather, Ray Redmond, my mother's father. Here's some plants. There's my babies when they were babies still. This is a Yud Hey Vav Hey with Zalman Schachter Shalomi's instructions. And there's a picture of him with the Dalai Lama. That's behind me. Here's the flowers and the shofar. Here's a beautiful picture by a former member, Owen Galar of Israel, Jerusalem. Here's my bedroom when I was a little girl that my mommy did. And my Moroccan dolls that I face. And here's a Susie Bibona rabbi. So don't worry, the Ashkenazis are in the house. The rabbi and the Rebbitzin are here. Here's the earth corner, reds. Here's where we're going to light Shabbat candles and where we have some Feldman wine. I can't eat bread anymore, so we have a peach for our challah. I'm glad you guys can eat bread. Here's Rabbi Naomi in the Redwoods with the Torah. I'm there too. And let's see, here's the water corner. So earth, air, fire, and water. I want to show you this little teaching from the Buddhists. Abandon any hope of fruition. A very good Shabbos teaching. And there's one of my teachers, Rabbi Gershon Winkler. Okay. And here's another teacher of ours, all here with me and with you. And this is Rabbi Aryeh Hirschfield. May his memory be for a blessing. So there's lots more up here. This is where we are in my sacred space. Welcome to my home. It's your home now. All right, page 1 of the Siddur, if you have it. Healing. We're gonna do Rabbi Aryeh Hirschfield's prayer chant, and then we're going to do on the next page, we're going to do the sort of more the English, and I might invite one of you to say the English if you have it, You can raise your hand if you want to say something, and if I can see you, I'll acknowledge you, or Cindy will. Cindy, you could unmute if you wanted to, okay? So everybody knows this tune a little differently, so sing it how you know it. It's number 3 on the page 2, Ana Elna. And if you don't have the Siddur, just enjoy and say Amen. So please hold in your hearts those who need healing. Let's take some deep breaths, at least 3. Ana Elna Rafana La Ana Elna Rafana La Ana Elna Rafana La Ana Elna Rafana La. Heal our bodies, open our hearts, awaken our minds. Yeah. Heal our bodies, open our hearts, awaken our minds. Shekhinah, Ana Elna Rafana La, Ana Elna Rafana La, Ana Elna Rafana La, Ana Elna Rafana La. And that translation is really beautiful. That's not what those words actually mean. It's a beautiful rendering of the song that Aryeh did, and he sang that in Germany. He sang that after being at Birkenau and Auschwitz. He sang it in front of thousands of Germans. And he did it in German and in Hebrew and in English. And it was a very powerful concert that he did in Germany many, many years ago. And that song moved a lot of people. And it was also a time of Christians and Jewish interfaith work, which he did a huge amount of also with the Muslim community. So the words Ana Elna Rafana La come from our Torah, and they really mean please heal her, please, 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 heal, heal, heal. And it's a cry for healing. It's a real plea. And I think sometimes when we pray for healing, we get like, oh, please help this person or whatever. And it has a lot of koach, it has a lot of energy. So I really like to just make sure you know that. And then I also like to do the English. Who would like to do the English here in this version on page 3? Anybody want to raise their hand? Or just come in. If not, I have to do it, which is fine, or Cindy.
Yeah. I'm
okay,
happy
Cindy,
to do
it's
it.
on you.
I'm happy to do it. I just didn't, I didn't want to take up somebody's turn. Okay.
No, it's okay.
Heal our bodies, open our hearts, awaken our minds.
Beautiful. And now the one on page 3, that's the for healing in the Siddur. Turn the page.
Yep.
Heal us, that one.
Compassion, that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Compassionate one. And we shall be healed. Save us and we will be saved. For you are our source of praise. Grant complete cure and healing to all our wounds. For you, Almighty One, are a faithful and merciful healer.
And then together we can say this, and you can stay muted or not. And in your mind, you can say the names of the people you want to say. So together, may it be your will, eternal one, our God, and the God of our ancestors, to send a complete healing, a refuah shlema, a healing of body, emotions, mind, and spirit, to all those we've named in our hearts. Baruch atah Adonai rofer hole amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Eternal, who heal the sick of your people, Yisrael, and all peoples. And we will say, Amen. So before we light Shabbos candles, I just want to say a few more things. Let me check my notes here. I want to make sure that we've just said this prayer for healing. I wanted to let people know that Alan Fischel is just recovering from some kind of surgery. I don't know the details about that, but to please hold him in your prayers. That's Caroline Connor's husband. Also, many of you know my friend Tara Moss. Her son and his wife just had a baby, and the baby's name is Aubrey. She's in the NICU at St. Joe's. She's okay. She's just having a little trouble breathing. She wasn't premature or anything, just a little difficulty with her birth, and Kat is recovering from the cesarean. And I said to Tara, I said, yeah, everybody's having a little trouble breathing right now. So this baby who just came in yesterday, she's also, so if you would please hold Aubrey, her name is Aubrey. She's the daughter of Kat, the granddaughter of Tara, in your prayers and thoughts. And also Shayna Stern, her son just had a child, a little boy in where do they speak Danish?
Denmark.
Denmark. Thank you, Amanda. So we have two new grandbabies, great grandbabies in our community, grandbabies. And also, some of you know, my daughter adopted a 16-year-old many years ago named Shakaya. Shakaya is now 22, and she just had a baby. And I am now a great grandmother. And that little baby's name is Jameson, and Shakaya is also recovering from a C-section. So all of these little new ones coming into the world, and if there's others that people know, we just want to hold them close because it's quite a world they're coming into. And I just wanted to acknowledge them and let you all know. Is there any other babies or small people that people know of and they want to share? Please unmute yourself and do. Go ahead, Caroline. Oh, we can't hear you. I think your volume's really low. Not hearing you. I'll tell you when.
Is that better?
Yay! Yes.
I see. Okay, got it. I fixed it. All right. My dear friend Yael, her niece just gave birth to twins, very, very premature. One is doing fine, they're about a week old. One just came home from the hospital, the other, they don't know. She has cardiomyopathy.
Oh.
So they don't know what's going to happen. So I am holding Ahava Bat Tzipora in my heart and Dina Bat Tzipora in my heart.
All right, all those babies, we will send them our love and our strength and our hope that this world is turning and changing. And we're on the last Shabbat of the year. And this is my Torah portion, Nitzavim. And the main thing it says, the reason why I feel so connected to this week, to this time, is because it says it's not across the ocean. It's not impossible. It's not far away from you to do what we need to do what you need to do. It's in your heart and it's in your lips. And we can fix and change and do what needs to be done in this world. And it's hard work and we're all doing it. We're all heroes and it's not impossible. And when people lose hope and they think it's across the ocean and they can't swim that far, you don't have to swim across the ocean. You just have to watch what you say and what you hold in your heart. And you just have to come from a place of kindness and goodness. And that is the core of Nitzavim. And it's the core of what I believe and what I am and what I feel from all of you. So I want to remind everyone, when you feel despair, to remember it's not so far away. Hashem has not given us an impossible task. It feels that way, but it's not. It is not impossible. So, Lo v'shamayim hi, it is not over there. It's right here. It's right here in our hearts. And I'm grateful to be here with all of you, magnificent, powerful heroes, each of you doing good in the world in so many ways. And we're so lucky. And I know you spread that. So I just want to acknowledge every person here for all the good you do, each of you in your own ways, holding it in your hearts and in your mouth. And you are doing the work of Hashem. Okay, I'll try not to cry too much more, but it is who I am. Okay, so now we're on the Shabbos candle lighting. So I'm going to give everybody a minute to do that, and then you can unmute if you want and say the blessings all together, or you can say Amen. I'm going to do my own sort of English translation that is sort of I learned it from Rabbi Naomi to sort of speak it from that place. So I want to acknowledge her, who we know now is safe with Miradina, not in her home in Carlotta, with her grandbaby, and we're glad she's somewhere safe also. So I invite you to go. I'll try to figure out how to, I think I'm just going to go, well, let's see if I can bring this. Everybody's going to light their candles, and then we'll say the blessings. Okay, I'm going to see if I can zoom myself over here. The technology transition. Okay. All right, here we go. You can bring the light in 3 times or enjoy my bringing it in. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Holy One, Creator of time and space, who has instructed us to kindle the lights of Shabbat, that we might delight in and be present and rest with your holy creation. And let us say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom. I love you all so much. I would be kissing each of you if we were at temple, or hugging you, or just wishing you Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Hey, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom, Shabbat, Shalom, hey, Shabbat, Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Yay, Shabbos, oh, I lost my flower. Okay, I think she wants to be back in the water. not in my hair. Okay. Now we're going to invite the angels in. And that should be the next page, I think. Yes, it is. Give you a little teaching for those of you who haven't heard it before about the angels. So these are the angels. There's lots of angels in our tradition. Some of you think Judaism doesn't have angels. You haven't been reading the Torah, if you think that. Here's an angel. Can everybody see her? I hope. She's here. There's lots of them in my house in many forms. And they come when we need them, and they come when we call. They're kind of not interested in showing up if you don't ask them to show up. They're still here, but if you actually ask angels for help, it's like they just are so happy. And there's a great Irish woman named Lorna Byrne, and she has this incredible relationship with angels. And she talks about there's these basically lines, long lines of unemployed angels that are waiting to be asked to do things. Like, help me with these groceries, help me hold the bag, help me with this cough, help me get out of bed this morning. It doesn't matter. Like, the minute you say help me to an angel, there's some angel somewhere getting their ticket, their employment ticket, and they're so happy. So don't forget to ask for help. You may not believe in angels, but they're there. And even if you don't think they exist, just asking for help will help you. It's a really incredible thing. And I think there's even science behind that. I'm not into the science. I don't need to ask the scientists. I love them and I believe in science. And I also have my own science. The science of Nicole. Okay, I better put my glasses on. Oh, now I can see you. Okay, so these particular angels that we sing to on Shalom Aleichem, though, these are the ones, the Hebrew says, each line repeats and it says, the Malachei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. These are the angels that are really hanging out in HaKadosh, in the holy place. They're the holy ones, holy angels. And they only come, they only really want to, these ones do not just show up uninvited. They come when they're invited and they come when the house is prepared for Shabbat. Because they're with Hashem the rest of the week. And why would they come here? It's not really that interesting or beautiful. But if our homes are beautiful, if our hearts are full, then those angels want to be with us. But they also need to go everywhere they're invited. So we say, peace to you, angels of peace. Then we say, bless us with peace, angels of peace. No, come in peace. First we say peace to you. This is an important teaching. Peace comes before anything else. Shalom is the very first teaching. First thing always. Then come in peace. So even before they get here, we're saying peace to them. Like Abraham, who saw the guests coming. He saw the strangers coming from far away. And he was already thinking about what needed to be done before they got to his home. So you're already, before you welcome somebody, you're wishing for peace and you're looking for them. So we reach out to those angels and we say peace to you. Like, it's peaceful here. You can come. Then we say, come in peace. We've made a space for you. You're welcome here. And then we ask them for something. We've given them those two things. And then we ask them to bless us with peace for Shabbat. And we say this right after the Shabbat blessing because maybe we forget, maybe it's hard to actually enter that peaceful space. And this is one of those asks from heaven. Please bless us with Shabbat peace. Bless us with the peace that you know that's way beyond our understanding. And then we say, okay, depart in peace. You may leave. We received you. And I whisper that last line just because I'm hesitant to ever ask angels to leave. So that's how we do it. And you can do it however you would like. And this is the very old tune that I know. There's many tunes. And we're on page 5 at the top. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruch Hu L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Tzeitzechem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Mimelech Malachei HaMalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Amen. This is a moment for blessing our children. And because many people are on the spectrum of male to female, I have chosen to just do the blessings for everyone. But if you specifically want to bless your sons or your daughters, it's right here on page 6. Otherwise, we're going to do this blessing. And I want to show you this little card here. It's backwards. It says Kohen. Actually, the Hebrew is probably correct. The English is backwards, right?
No, it's perfect.
No, it's just back. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, my father was a Kohen, and when he came to this country, my father Yaakov, Jacques Barshalan, he didn't want to be known as a Jew. And also during the war, in World War II, they asked all the Jews to change their names. And so in World War II, when he joined the resistance, the Free French Forces, when he escaped from Morocco, from Nazi-occupied Morocco, the French government had, it's like the movie Casablanca, but a little different. But anyway, so his name during the war was Jacob Lawrence. And Lawrence, he chose that because he loved the poet, he loved the writer D.H. Lawrence. So he chose the name Jacob Lawrence, so it wouldn't be Jewish. But then after the war, he took his mother's maiden name, which was Barshalan, because people didn't know that was a Jewish name. It actually is a Jewish name. Different stories about that. But his father was Jaime or Chaim Cohen, and my great-grandfather was the rabbi of Tangier, Rabbi Aharon Cohen. So when I first got involved with my Judaism, I started to feel connected to that lineage. And then I learned later on my mother's side of the family, we have some Torah scholars, some Torah scribes, and some rabbis too on the Bernstein side. So that's my Ashkenazi, Litvak, Lithuanian, Polish, Russian side. And then on my father's side is the Moroccan Sephardic. So those are the two streams coming through. And this prayer, the blessings for everyone, is the prayer that the Kohanim would say. But we're going to all say it. I invite you to channel your own inner Kohanim. It says in our tradition that we are a nation of priests, but it doesn't say priests because it's in Hebrew. Basically, we're all holy. Every one of us has the power to bless. Every one of us has the power to heal. Every one of us can do magic and strong healing and good. So that's this prayer. It's the blessings for everyone. I'm going to do it in the Hebrew, and then I'm going to invite, Mom, would you do the English after I do the Hebrew? You don't have the Siddur? Do you have the Siddur? No? Okay. Hadassah, will you do the English after I do the Hebrew? Okay, I'll do the whole thing in Hebrew, and then you do the English. Yeah, unmute yourself. Thank you, Hadassah. Okay. So this is a blessings for everyone, for our children, all children. Hold any children in your mind's eye, the children of your heart, the children of your body, the children that you love, any children, the ones we named earlier. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May Elohim make you like, which one do I say?
The one, blessings for everyone.
Okay.
Number 6.
May the Holy One bless you and watch over you. May the Holy One surround you with light and be gracious to you. May the Holy One fill you with light and grant you shalom.
Kain Yehi Ratzon, which means may it be so. So now I would like to ask somebody I don't know or don't know so well. Maybe you, Brian, do you have my Siddur in front of you? Do you have the Siddur printout? No? Yes?
I do.
Could you read the Shabbat affirmations for us? On page 7 of my Siddur, it's number 8.
Yeah, page 7, number 8.
Yeah.
All right. I affirm that God affirmed and sanctified the Holy Shabbat. I raise all toil, suffering, and frustration of the past week as my sacrifice to God and let go of it. I affirm the model of our ancestors' rest and sanctification of Shabbat. I affirm the perfection of what is in the world, and I surrender all the urgings and all the strivings on the plane of action, and I offer my body to rest. I affirm the union of my nefesh with the Holy Queen and Bride. I affirm the union of my ruach with God, the lover of the infinitesimal and the particular, with God as the Zaire. I can't see that.
It's hard. Zaire Anpin. It's a weird word.
Zaire.
Not a usual.
Okay. I affirm the union of my neshama with the resting creator, the revealer of Sinai, and the redeemer of the days of Mashiach. And I affirm the union of my additional soul, my neshama Yetera with the
ancient of days. It's hard to read. Ancient
of days, to whom eternity is ever present. I affirm the blessings that come down for the coming week, and my willingness to be mindful of the Holy Shabbat, even in the midst of the week.
And then together we say these last lines. Welcome, Lekavod Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom U'Mevorach, Shabbat Nefesh, Shabbat Neshama, Shabbat Ruach, Shabbat Shalom, Ribono Shel Olam, Shabbat Shalom. And Reb Zalman translates, this is the translation of the Zaire Anpin, I believe. God blessed Shabbat and wedded Shabbat to holiness. In Shabbat, the Holy One rested from all the crafting which the Holy One had made for our doing. Hashem made all this for us. So, yeah, it's our job to take a little better care of it. I almost was lucky enough to have Arik Labowitz here to sing his Bo'i V'Shalom. He's been in the area and he may be moving here. Some of you know our sweet Arik. Hi, Kenny. Oh, my Kenny, my beau père is here. My papa, my other papa. The papas. Okay. Yay, Kenny. Welcome. So we're going to do Rabbi Aryeh's because I can't do Arik's. And I don't have Ruvain here, Ruvain of blessed memory, who I would always ask to do Lecha Dodi. So I know he's with me in spirit, and we're going to do number 16. It's on page 8. And just a little teaching about this prayer is that I heard, I'm trying to remember who, a teaching that the 6 days of the week were masculine or more masculine, and the 7th day was feminine. And somebody was like, well, that doesn't seem very egalitarian or fair. And the person said, well, if you think about it, which day is the best day? Shabbat. So I was like, oh, okay. Whether it's masculine or feminine or not, but it is a day of receiving. It should be a day of slowing down. Not that those are necessarily feminine characteristics, but it's a day of welcoming. And this is a very ancient idea that comes from the Kabbalists, that the Sabbath is a bride, that we greet her like we would greet a bride. And that at the end, the last line, which I will do the last line here after we do the English from Welcoming the Bride, and I will invite you to bow in whatever direction your door is and to really invite that queen in, okay? The Shekhinah. And I'm going to start in the English. It's number 16, Welcoming the Bride, in the Siddur on page 8. Oh, come, my friend, to greet the bride. Make ready the chamber deep inside. In your heart, prepare a space for the light, her radiant face. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. No need to search far and wide. Her love for you she will not hide. Withdraw your mind from time and space. She finds you waiting in your own place. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Okay, so if you want to rise now and face whatever door or window, I don't necessarily want you to open your doors to the smoke. So it can be in thought only, because the Shekhinah can get through our closed doors. She actually knows how to do that. Okay. Boi v'shalom, ateret ba'ala, gam b'simcha u'tzachala, toch emuneh am segula, boi kala, lecha dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Amen, amen. Okay, we're going to skip to the Kiddush so that you can start eating if you want before we do the Baruch Hu, and you can do things however you want to. So I'm going to invite you to go to page 23 of your Siddur and to get your wine. If you don't want to do Kiddush now, you can do it later. I'll do it again later.
Cindy, do you have the numbers that go with the
page 23,
online pages?
Page 23.
And can you also call out the number that's written on the printed page?
Well, that's what it says on mine. It says Nicole Siddur, page 23, Kiddush for evening of Shabbat. And it's towards the end of the packet.
In Nicole's Siddur, her page for Kiddush is page 122 of Mishkan Tefillah.
Oh, thank you, Caroline.
Okay, but that's different than the printout that I actually
Yes,
printed out.
yes. And the
So not a
printout,
problem.
it's the printout is it's a picture, Joe, of the kiddush sheets from our kitchen, from the Temple Bethel kitchen. It should look like this, but you know the kiddush, so don't worry. And also, if you printed out an older version, if you didn't print out the new version, you're going to be on a different page setting, because I had Blue correct some things. So if you're using my Siddur from last service that I led, you're going to be off. So my apologies if you actually did not reprint. You're not going to be in the same place as me.
I did reprint, so.
All right. Well, Joe,
Please
you know
continue.
what? We'll let him go.
16,
Hey,
right?
the blessings, there's nothing more important than actually figuring out what blessing we're doing. That's a good thing. And you're not, and bye-bye, Deva. Deva has to go pick up her client. She wanted, was that from you, Deva, that sent that? I saw, yes. Deva's saying, much love to everybody. She needs to go pick up her client. Shabbat shalom, Deva. We love you. Bye-bye. So, hold up your glass if you've got it. This is my Foon wine. I'm going to have a tiny, oh, yay, Mommy has her wine. Okay. Who else is here? Anybody else have, if you don't drink wine, you can drink water, juice, whatever you want. Vayhi erev, vayhi boker, yom hashishi. And there was evening and there was morning on the 6th day. Vayehulu Hashem, and please feel free to join me. Vayehulu Hashemayim v'haaretz v'chol tzva'am v'hai Elohim v'yom hashvi'i melachto asher asa v'yishbot b'yom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa v'yivarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i v'kadesh oto kivo Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the 7th day, the Holy One finished the work that the Holy One had been doing, and the Holy One ceased on the 7th day from all the work that the Holy One had done. And the Holy One blessed the 7th day and declared it holy, because on it the Holy One ceased from all the work of creation that the Holy One had done. And then you turn the page to page 24 if you printed out the Siddur beforehand, and we say Savri, and the rest of you say L'chaim.
L'chaim.
It means you're paying attention. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kadshu b'achava ufratzon hinhiltanu זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת עם כל העמים, ושבת קדשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Oh, yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay. Now, feel free to do what you need to do. We are going to move on to the Baruch Hu. So we're going to do, let's see if it's here. Did I print the right one? Okay. And this is the call to prayer. And in this is as if we haven't already been praying. But our tradition gives us these moments of up and down, and it's like you're climbing, like you're swimming, like I'm swimming, because I like to swim. I don't like to climb. I'm swimming across the lagoon. So I get to a certain place and the energy changes. And when you first start doing something, when you first start engaging in a practice, you're thinking about other things and maybe you're not all there. But by the time you've been doing it for a little while, whether you're climbing a mountain or you're swimming or you're dancing or whatever thing it is that you're doing with your whole body, you get to a place where you start to be one with the activity, and it starts to be moving through you instead of being in your head. So this is how I like to think about the Baruch Hu, is it's our opportunity to just notice that we've sort of become part of this holy movement and that we're doing it together. So I invite you to rise, and it's a call and response. And so please unmute yourselves, because I would like to hear your responses for those of you who would like to do the response. I would love to hear you. And if you can face east, face east. I'm facing east. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Yay, thank you. And now we're going to do Rabbi Aryeh's beautiful Hamariva Ravim. So I sing this a certain way. Some of you might sing it another way. I would like to invite those of you who are comfortable with the Hebrew to please do it in the Hebrew. Feel free to unmute yourselves. I love having the Hebrew and the English together, and I will do some of these lines in Hebrew and English and some of them in Hebrew. And it's a really beautiful thing that in the older traditions, in previous times, whenever those were, there wasn't this need for everybody to be in the same rhythm. There was this sort of cacophony of prayers, because we're not all in the same place at the same time. And so it's fine if we don't all align perfectly all the time, because we will come together in the end, and we're all on the same page, even if we're not on the same line. Okay. You abound in blessings. Oh, we're on page 10. If you've printed it out, it's Hamariv Aravim, and it says page 8 also. And this is Rabbi Aryeh's beautiful translation of the evening prayer. You abound in blessings, Holy One. By your word the evenings come. Your wisdom opens heaven's gates. Your understanding changes seasons. Setting stars by your will in their places in the sky. Creating day and night, Borei Yom V'Laila. Rolling darkness away from light. Dolel or mipnei Hoshech. And light away from darkness, v'choshech mipnei or. Separating day and night, mavdil bein yom uvein laila, yatzavot shemo, El Hai v'kayam, living and enduring, Holy One. May we know your presence always. Tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. You abound in blessings, Holy One. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim, bringer of the evenings. And it's not here, but it's very easy. This is a tune I learned from not from Rabbi, well, he's a teacher, my dear friend David Horowitz, and I learned this song from him. So just listen and you can sing along, because the Hebrew says evening the evenings. It doesn't say bringer of the evenings. So it's a very interesting little beautiful teaching, whatever it is for the evening to be eveninged. Evening the evenings, evening the frayed edges of our lives, Ma'ariv Aravim, Amen, Amen. Evening the evenings, evening the frayed edges of our lives, Ma'ariv Aravim, Amen, Amen. Caroline, would you be comfortable leading the Ahavat Olam on page 11 of the Siddur, or 73, number 10?
Okay. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Ukimu Mishpatim Otanu Lemadata Alkein Adonai Eloheinu Achvenu Kumeinu Nasiach Bechukecha V'nismach b'divrei Toratecha Uv'mitzvotecha Le'olam va'ed Ki hem chayenu Orech yameinu Uvehem nehege yomam v'layla V'ahavtecha al tasir mimenu l'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai Elohim Yisrael.
Amen. Mitra, can you read the English for us? Unmute yourself.
You have loved the house of Israel, your people, with everlasting love. You have taught us Torah and mitzvot, decrees and laws. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise, we will speak of your statutes and rejoice in the words of your Torah and in your mitzvot forever and ever. For they are our life and the length of our days, and we will meditate upon them day and night. May your love never depart from us. Blessed are you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Tada. And I just want to remind people that the word Yisrael has many ways to be translated and many meanings. And the way I'm most comfortable with is the people who are wrestling, who are dancing, who are doing some kind of engagement with the divine, who are asking themselves the question, who are asking an active question of the energy that creates the universe. You don't have to believe in a old man in the sky to be a child of Yisrael. It's that you're engaged in questioning and looking and asking and wrestling. And wrestling is active. You can't wrestle if you're not active. So being a child of Israel, being a B'nai Yisrael means you're active in your engagement with this concept and with this work. And it doesn't mean Israelis, and it doesn't mean people who were born of Jewish mothers. It means, for me, anyone who calls themselves Yisrael because that's how they feel, or because they are actively engaged in a discussion and a conversation with holiness. And they want to be called Yisrael. So we are actually a minyan, which is very nice. If you weren't a minyan, and I want to share this with everybody, we're on page 12 of the new revised Nicole Siddur, and it's page 74 is the little notation on the bottom. And actually, you don't have it in the old one, because this is why the new one needed to happen, because we had everything but the Shema. You need the Shema. You kind of need the Shema. It's kind of critical to our tradition. But a lot of times people don't say it because they're not in a minyan, or they don't realize that you can still say it. And there's this beautiful little Hebrew at the top here. And it's, if you don't have it, it's Aleph, Mem, and Nun. And it says El Melech Ne'eman. And it's translated as the Holy One, Ruler, Faithful, Amen. But it's also how you spell the word Amen. And Amen is an acrostic. I think that's the right English word for what it is. Is that the right, when it's the letters equal something? So when we're saying Amen, we're actually saying this, which is kind of cool. It's one of the things we're doing. So Amen is a Hebrew word. A lot of people who were raised in other traditions think it's a Christian word. It's very, very Hebrew, and it's fine. We can share it. Happy to share. So I have a Shema practice that I do in the lagoon, where Cindy and I swim in the lagoon, where I get halfway to my swim. I get to my point where I've swum for half an hour or 40 minutes or however long. I feel like I reached that place where I'd gotten to be one with the water, and I stop and I let the water, I just float in the water, and I put myself on my back and I just float there and I close my eyes. So it's a practice of complete trust. And I chant the Shema in the middle of the lagoon. And if there's boats around me or people, great. Sometimes there's nobody, sometimes there's people. I have no idea if anybody can hear me. Those of us swimming often have our earplugs in, but you can say the Shema anywhere. It's really important, I think, to say the Shema in nature, because it's a healing prayer. It helps us remember that we're one with nature, that we're connected to nature. So wherever you say the Shema, doesn't matter. But I think it's important to chant the Shema outdoors, because the trees and the birds and the waters and the winds, they all need to know that we're connecting to them. And this prayer for me is one of the ways that I do that. So I invite you to do whatever practice you're comfortable with. If it's standing, standing. If it's sitting, sitting. You can cover your eyes if you wish or not. And the words here are in the Hebrew. And I want to let Caroline know, and everybody else, that we're going to do we're going to do the full second paragraph. And I have different translations, and we're going to talk a little bit about that afterwards. So take your time. If you have your own prayer book and you don't want to use the translation I have, we will go into the Via Hafta, the one that everybody knows, and then I'll give people a little silent time, and then we'll do some discussion and read the second paragraph, because it's really beautiful and really important, especially right now. So I want to invite everybody to just, we're going to do a few deep breaths. And if and when you're ready, you can chant your Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vad. And now we're on page 13 or 75. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'elech asher anohi mitzavucha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lefecha uv'vaderek uv'shavpecha uv'kumecha ukshatam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'einenecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'yisharecha. I'm going to give everybody a few moments to do the second paragraphs here as they wish, and then we'll do some English translations here. Okay. So is there somebody who would like to read some of these Englishes that I have here? If you would, please raise your hand and maybe I'll see you or Cindy will. If you don't want to, that's fine. Okay, Sylviane, merci. Unmute yourself. Goodbye, Mitra. Shalom. Sylviane, I'd like you to read the traditional here that's on page 76. That's the English underneath the Hebrew. So I want to start with what it actually, do you see that? It's sort of 15 and it goes
Okay,
to
you
the
want
next
to me
page.
on which page do you want me to go to?
So are you on my Siddur page 14?
Yeah, I'm on page 14.
And it says 15 Vahaya.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you to read the English starting there and all the way to the next page on 77, you know, so that all the English underneath the Hebrew.
Okie doke. And it will be, can you hear me?
Yes, but can you move the camera so we can see you? Because we can't actually see you, or move your,
Yeah,
yes.
but I have the computer to read
Oh.
and the other.
There we go,
okay.
that's better. That's great. Now we
Yeah,
can
but
see
I
you a
have
little
to
bit.
still look here.
That's okay.
And it should be, if you will fully heed the mitzvot which I enjoy upon you this day, loving the eternal, your God, and serving God with your entire heart and with your entire souls. I will grant the rain of your land in season, the early rain and the late. You will gather in your new grain and wine and oil. I will also provide grass in the fields for your cattle, and you will eat and be satisfied. Take care lest your hearts be lured away, and you turn astray and you worship aspects of creation as gods and bow to them. And Adonai fury will blaze among you, and he will shut up the skies, and there will be no rain, and the ground will not yield its produce, and you will soon perish from the good land. And the Eternal gives you, that the Eternal gives you. Please these words of mine upon, no, sorry, place these words of mine upon your hearts and upon your soul. Bind them as a sign of your hand and let them serve as tefillin between your eyes. And teach them to your children, reciting them when you stay at home of your house and on your gates, so that your days be prolonged and the days of your children upon the land that the Eternal swore by your ancestors to give them, as long as there is a heaven over the earth.
So, thank you. And now, is there somebody who'd like to read some more English for me? Let me know. Raise your hand. Okay, Amanda, can you read above where she just read the translation by Rabbi Jacobson's translation, just that little paragraph? It's above the V'chaya. Do you see that? Let these words by which?
Yes.
Okay.
I like this. Let these words by which I join myself to you this day enter your heart. Pattern your days on them so that your children may discover Torah within you. Make your life into a voice of God, both in your stillness and in your movement. Renew these words each evening and each morning in devotion. Bind them as a hand signal and as tefillin between your eyes, as symbols of acts and thoughts consecrated to me. Write them in mezuzot at the entrance of your home as a sign that all people may discover me as they enter your home and your life.
So I really love that idea of the mezuzot being like a sign that everybody discovers the Holy One as they enter. Not just that I'm kissing it for me to remind myself to be holy, but I love this, that all people may discover the Holy One, me capitalized, as they enter your home and your life. So I just really, really love Rabbi Bert Jacobson's translation there. Okay, one more English reader for Reb Zalman's translation of the second paragraph. Who would like to read? Anybody raising their hand? Okay, Hadassah, thank you. So we're on page 77, Reb Zalman's translation, How Good It Will Be.
How good it will be when you really listen and hear my directions, which I give to you today. For loving Yah, who is your Elohim, and to act godly with feeling and inspiration. Your earthly needs will be met at the right time, appropriate to their season. You will reap what you planted for your delight and health. Also, your animals will have ample feed. All of you will eat and be content. Be careful. Watch out. Don't let your cravings delude you. Don't become alienated. Don't let your cravings become your gods. Don't debase yourself to them, because the Elohim sense within you will become distorted. Heaven will be shut to you. Grace will not descend. Earth will not produce. Your rushing will destroy you, and earth will not be able to recover her good balance in which Elohim's gifts manifest. May these values of mine reside in your feelings and aspirations, making what you produce, guiding what you receive. Teach them to your children so that they be addressed by them in making their homes, how they deal with traffic when you are depressed, when you are elated. Mark your entrances and exits with them so you may be more aware. Then you and your children will live out on earth that divine promise given to your ancestors to live heavenly days right here on this earth.
Thank you, Hadassah. Thank you, all my readers. I don't think I need to say anything about these holy words. They're very beautiful, and they're thank you to the writers of them and the readers. Okay, now we're at the transition to a different part of the swim, a different part of the climb. And it's the Hatzi Kaddish, and a lot of people don't understand why we do this. I'm not 100% sure either, but I love the Hatzi Kaddish. I love the Hebrew, and I love singing it. And when we say the Mourner's Kaddish, it's actually the same words, but we don't sing them. So the Kaddish it comes from the word kadosh, which is holy. I can't even begin to talk about holiness, but I've been studying it in my Musar class with the Musar Institute for several months now with a partner, with a cantor in Toronto. And we've been studying Kedusha. And one of the things that all the Musar teachers and people talk about is that it's not something that can be defined. Kadosh, we can't define it. Holiness is, it's something you can experience. But one of the teachings which we just read last night when we were studying was that, I have to read it to you, it's so beautiful. I'm just gonna grab it. Sometimes I can paraphrase, sometimes it's better to actually have the person's thing in front of you. So this is Rabbi Per, who is a modern Musar teacher, and he's the teacher of Alan Marinis, who is the teacher of Caroline and myself, who's a modern teacher is, and we're all very lucky that that there were people who got connected to this ancient practice and brought it forward, because it was something that was more hidden or contained within the Orthodox world. And now those of us who aren't Orthodox, have access to these incredible materials that are being translated and shared. And Caroline, some of us on this Zoom call, we've been studying Musar together for over, is it 10 years, 12 years?
Close to 14 years.
Yeah.
14 years. There's a group of us who have been studying with Caroline. And in that time, unfortunately, we've lost some beautiful sisters. We lost Betty Braver. May her memory be a blessing. She was one of our original members, and Lou Brenman. So I want to bring them into this moment when I'm sharing a Musar teaching, because they're with us, and we miss them, and we got to study with them. So you're lucky if you get to have some precious moments with beautiful people, because we're going to be gone in an eye blink. So enjoy your friends, enjoy the people next to you. We never know when the Holy One is going to say, oh, it's your pull date. It's time to go back. Your date is up. And that's not in our ability to know. So this is the teaching that Rabbi Pear shared with Alan Marinis when he asked his teacher. He said, "What is holiness?" Alan Marinis said, and this is what his teacher told him. "I can't tell you what holiness is exactly," he said. "In Hebrew, the word kadosh, which we translate as holiness, has a sense of otherness, of separation, like the separation of a pure essence, without contamination or impurity. But I can tell you that I've had the privilege of seeing holy people. I've seen people who have purified my eyes just by looking at them. To me, it is like a picture of the Holy One himself." Such a beautiful teaching. And then Alan ends this is the final lesson of our 8-week study that we just finished. And this is the last paragraph of that teaching. And I just want to read that too, because it's really beautiful. So this is from the Ramchal, who's a much older teacher. And he says, in The Path of the Upright, he says, "I know, dear reader, that you realize, just as I do, that I have not completed in this book all the principles of piety, nor did I say all there is to say on this area, for it has no end and its study is without limit. The same is true for us, of course." Now this is Alan. "Could we possibly exhaust the topic of holiness? Still, I hope what I have shared from my learning has been of value to you, and that what we have learned together has brought us to a place where we now appreciate the approaching holiness, coming close to holiness, relies more on our earthly integrity, in your mouth and in your heart, netzavim, lo vashamayim hi, it's not far from you, and spiritual sincerity and insight than to our intellectual acumen. I'll close with the final words Rabbi Pear said to me on this topic, after he had said that maybe one day I would have the grace to see a holy face. He then added, maybe you'll even see it in the mirror one day. So may you all eventually or sometimes see yourself in the mirror and recognize the Holy One in you. So now we're going to do the half Kaddish. Even that's funny. Half Kadosh. Just a little bit of Kadosh. Just a little bit, because it's unknowable. And we do rise for this. And it's on page 16 in the new Siddur, or page 65 is the number, or in whatever prayer book you've got, it's the Hatzi Kaddish. And I invite you to say the Amens, or whatever part of it you want to. Feel free to unmute if you'd like. And deep breath. Yitkadav v'yitkadash shemei rabba ve'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malhutei v'hayechon u'vyomechon uv'hayedeh kol beit Yisrael bagala uv'izman kariv v'yimeru amen Yehei shmei tevorach Leolam olam me'almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnasei V'yithadar v'yitale Shemei dekudesha brichu Le'ela mincho birchata v'shirata Tushperata v'nachemata Damihan be'alma Vimaru, amen. And now we are moving on to the Amida. And you should have that on page 17 of my Siddur. or page 86. And I haven't printed out the Amida here because I have printed out for you Marge Piercy's Amida, which I invite you. We will read Marge Piercy's Amida aloud afterward in a few minutes, but I want to give everybody a chance who wants to do the traditional Amida or part of it. So I think I'm going to allot 7 minutes for the Amida, which should give everybody time, and maybe a little less. If I see that everybody stopped praying, we will stop. And we're going to do, before we start, we're gonna do this little kavana that's in front of it, and I'll just read it. It's on page 17 of my Siddur, and it's 86, and it says, Rabbi Nachman teaches, you are like a warrior who is prepared to breach a mighty wall. The main thing is speech. Use it, and you will win every spiritual battle. You might find it difficult to speak to the Holy One, but this difficulty is mere foolishness. It indicates sluggishness and a lack of virtuous boldness. You are about to use your speech to overcome the great battle against the evil within you. You are on the verge of victory and are about to break down the walls within your words, with your words. The gates are ready to be open. Will you then not speak because of mere bashfulness? Will you hold back because of a minor barrier like this? So whatever Amida you choose to do, speak from your heart to Hashem. And I remind people that on the Shabbat, we don't ask Hashem for anything on Shabbat. The only thing we ask for is peace. So I love that consciousness, and that's why I do the prayers for healing before I light Shabbos candles, because I actually don't do prayers for healing on Shabbat. I do those prayers during the week very actively, and it's fine. Everybody can have their own practice, but I like to give a chance for what needs to be, and trust Hashem on Shabbat. So we're going to do the Adonai Sifatai. I do it a little differently than other people, so enjoy it however you want. Adonai Sifatai Tiftach Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Oh, yeah, open up my lips as I begin to pray. Oh, yeah, open up my heart that I may say your praise. Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tahilatecha. Oh, say shalom b'mruma, huya say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. So is there anybody who'd like to read some of, you don't have to read all of it, Marge Piercy's Amida? Please let me know if you would like to, if you haven't read yet. If not, I'm always happy to read it. I know it very well. So if you're not tired of my voice yet and nobody else is coming forward, I think I'll just do it. So also because Marge Piercy has been in this house and eaten at my table. So I have a relationship with Marge from many, many years ago when she came to HSU to speak. And she's one of my favorite teachers and writers. And she writes beautifully. She has so many beautiful books. And she loves food and cooking and tomatoes. And those are things we share and talk about gardening. So I love this Amida. Amida, on our feet we speak to you. We rise to speak, a web of bodies aligned like notes of music. Bless what brought us through the sea and the fire. We are caught in history like whales in polar ice. Yet you have taught us to push against the walls, to reach out and pull each other along, to strive to find the way through. If there is no way around, to go on, to utter ourselves with every breath against the constriction of fear, to know ourselves as the body born from Abraham and Sarah, born out of rock and desert. We reach back through 200 arches of hips, long dust, carrying their memories inside us to live again in our life. Yitzhak and Rivka, Rachel, Yaakov, Leah. We say words shaped by ancient use, like steps worn into rock. Bless the quiet of sleep, easing over the ravaged body, who quiets the troubled waters of the mind to a pool in which shines the placid broad face of the moon. Bless the teaching of how to open in love, so all the doors and windows of the body swing wide on their rusty hinges, and we give ourselves with both hands. Bless what stirs in us compassion for the hunger of the chickadee in the storm, starving for seeds we can carry out. The wounded cat wailing in the alley, what shows us our face in a stranger, who teaches us what we clutch shrivels, but what we give goes off in the world, carrying bread to people not yet born. Bless the gift of memory that breaks unbidden released from a flower or a cup of tea, so the dead move like rain through the room. Bless what forces us to invent goodness every morning and what never frees us from the cost of knowledge, which is to act on what we know again and again. Bless what forces us to invent goodness. Oh, I said it already. I'll do it again. Okay. All living are one and holy. Let us remember as we eat, as we work, as we walk and drive. All living are one and holy. We must make ourselves worthy. We must act out justice and mercy and healing as the sun rises and as the sun sets, as the moon rises and the stars wheel above us. We, in our hearts and in our lips, we must repair goodness. We must praise the power of the one that joins us. Whether we plunge in or thrust ourselves far out, finally, we reach the face of glory, Kadosh, too bright for our eyes, and yet we burn and we give light. We will try to be holy. We will try to repair the world given us to hand on. Precious, precious is this treasure of words and knowledge and deeds that move inside us, that moves inside us. Holy Kadosh is the ayin, is the hand that works for peace and justice. Kadosh is the mouth that speaks for goodness. Kadosh is the foot that walks towards mercy. Let us lift each other on our shoulders and carry each other along. Let holiness move in us. Let us pay attention to its small voice. Let us see the light in others and honor that light. Remember the dead who paid our way here dearly, dearly. And remember the unborn for whom we build our houses. Praise the light that shines before us, through us, after us. Amen. Amen, amen. So we don't have too much more to go. You guys have done really good. And I'm going to let you eat your dinners, or hopefully you're still eating your dinners. We're going to do Judy Chicago's Aleinu, which is a very different Aleinu, but I really, really like it. And then we're going to do Tehillim, Psalm 27, because that's a Elul practice. And then we're going to say the Mourner's Kaddish. And that's our plan. And I'm going to let Cindy actually share now if she has any announcements before we do the next part.
I do have announcements. Let's see. Okay, so tomorrow morning there's the Saturday morning Torah study at 8:30 with Rabbi Bob. And there will be a double portion this week since it's the last time of meeting before Rosh Hashanah. Everyone is invited. That's a Zoom meeting and the link is in the email. There will be a special Havdalah Selichot service with Rabbi Naomi also tomorrow, Saturday at 7:45. That is also a Zoom meeting. And everyone is welcome to attend that. Monday night, Phil Lazar will be leading his Torah study, and that is from 6 to 7, also on Zoom. And Sunday night, okay, so I'm going back. So tomorrow, Saturday, then Sunday, we have our new website rollout event. Very exciting. David Boyd has worked really hard on putting our website, the new website together for us. Couldn't come at a better time where we're doing so many things online. And he's going to give us a little tour. So it's almost like getting to see a new building. But it's and that will be Sunday night at 6. And there is a Zoom link for that. A couple of other things that are related to the temple. Dr. Caroline Connor, a member of the temple and a board member, is going to be giving a talk on understanding migraine headaches. That is through Ollie, and that is going to be October 15th and 22nd. And the newsletter, the weekly update this week, has a link to sign up for that if you're interested. And another event also online is a film series called Let's Talk About the Middle East. And they're going to be showing the first film is called For Sama. It's a Syrian film from 2019. And this is something that you can also do online. You can get a link and you'll be able to watch the movie online and then discuss it. And those are all my announcements. And those are all also in the weekly update. So I think all of you are getting that. If you're not, if you have trouble with that, please feel free to send me a little chat if for some reason you're not getting the weekly update, and I will check into it for you.
Richard raised his hand. He has difficulty with his computer. I want to also announce, and I haven't figured out how to share it, but my cousin who is 83, I have an 83-year-old cousin named Johnny Barshalon. He's a doctor in LA, and along with a bunch of other doctors from Yale and Harvard, he's doing a presentation on Wednesday, and I'm going to try to figure out how to send everybody this information, but it's about COVID and some of the latest research about things you can do before the vaccines are viable and ways to treat and help if you contract COVID or if you're worried about it. And it's all about the latest science. So he sent me a whole informational thing, but it's like 3 pages long, and I don't know how to quite share that. So I'm working on it. It's Wednesday at 9 in the morning. And if you're interested, maybe email me and I will try to get that to the temple, and I'll put it up on my Facebook when I have all the details. It's a Zoom meeting. It's a giant, there'll be thousands of people at it. It's a big, big event. So the information will be out there if you want to go to it. It'll be Wednesday at 9. So just wanted to let you know that. And yeah, my cousin. My oldest cousin. My dad was 13 when Johnny was born. And he crossed over on a boat with his mother who was pregnant right before the last boats made it across from Morocco to America in 1938 or something, 39 or 40. I don't remember when. Anyways, okay. Any other announcements? Is there anybody else who has an announcement they need to make? If you do, please raise your hand. Otherwise, we'll finish our service. It's been a total delight and a pleasure to do Shabbat with you all. So we are on page 19 or 220, Merger, A Vision of the Future by Judy Chicago. And Caroline, do you remember this song? Can you sing it? Okay, would you lead us in? It's not all the lines, it's just part of it. Whatever part of it you can sing will be great.
Let's see.
Because it's a little different here.
Right. So the song is just really the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
So
however you do it will be beautiful.
Well, why don't you lead us in all of the words, and then I'll lead us in the song, which is
okay, great. And then all that has divided us will merge. And then compassion will be wedded to power. And then softness will come to a world that is harsh and unkind. And then both women and men will be gentle. And then both women and men will be strong. And then no person will be subject to another's will. And then all will be rich and free and varied. And then the greed of some will give way to the needs of many. And then all will share equally in the earth's abundance. And then all will care for the sick and the weak and the old. And then all will nourish the young. And then all will cherish life's creatures. And then all will live in harmony with each other and the earth. and then everywhere will be called Eden once again.
And then, all men and women will be gentle, and then, both women and men will be strong, and all will be so very rich and free, and everywhere will be called Eden once again. And then all men and women will be gentle, and then all women and men will be strong, and all will be so very rich and free, and everywhere will be called Eden once again.
Thank you, Caroline. That's exactly the version I know. It's just not exactly as it's written here.
Right, somebody changed it up a little.
Yeah. I might have to call on you again to do the Tehillim, Psalm 27, in the Hebrew if you want. And then I will do the English after you do the Hebrew. And is there anything you want to share about this since you've just taught a class on it?
I don't need to share it. Like, everybody can have their experience of this.
Oh, should we do this before the Kaddish or after?
After.
Okay, so let's do Kaddish first then. So Mourner's Kaddish on page 224. And is there anybody observing a yard site tonight? Please say the names, unmute yourself and say the name of who you're observing a yard site for. And I'm observing for Kylie. Anyone else observing a yard site tonight? Or still in mourning in Hadassah, that would be you. Yeah. Okay.
I've got 3.
Okay. Please share their names.
2013, September. My mom, Geraldine Sarah Miriam, she passed away September 10th, but I didn't find out until Yom Kippur, 2013. So on the civil calendar, she passed away on the 10th of September. Then my late husband, the civil calendar, passed away September 12th, is today, in 2015. And my middle son, I found out on Shabbos, September 15th this year, that he was shot, killed. So yeah, she died August 14th. On August 15th, and it wasn't buried. Neither of the 3 were buried until later, but this is the 30th day for my little son. I found out he died. So I want to say his name was Daniel Harris. Her name is Benjamin Danielle Harris.
We're with you, Hadassah. I'm glad Tony's there. We feel for your loss. And I want to ask everyone to rise because this is the memorial 9/11 of so many deaths, and to say Kaddish for all those who died and all the wars and the harm that has happened as a result. Many, many deaths have come about because of this day. So in honor of the firefighters and the heroes and the rescuers who put themselves in the middle of the most horrible stories, we want to honor all those who died rescuing other people. We want to remember that there's many ways to rescue. You can rescue with a smile. You can also rescue by fighting a fire or running into a building. So we all have that in our hearts and in our mouths, ability to be a rescuer. And it's also okay to take a break from that on Shabbat. So for all those who have passed in our hearts and who we've named, and for all those who have given their lives to save others. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemeh haba. Be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'hayachon uvyom echon. Uvhaye de kol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei de kudusha prihu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'hayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mramav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
All right, Caroline is going to sing or say the Hebrew for the Psalm 27, and then I'll do the English.
David, Adonai orvi v'ishi mimi ircha, Adonai ma'oz chayai mimi echad, Yikrov alai mareim le'echol b'sari, Tzarvai v'yavai li, hemachas v'nifalu, Im tachanei alai machanei lo yircha libi, Im takum alai milchama b'sod hanivoteach. Achad sha'alti me'et Adonai, ota avakesh, shiv b'vet Adonai kol yemei chayai, lachazot b'nom Adonai, ulvaker b'hechalo, ki yitzvuneni b'suko b'yom ra'ah, yastireni b'seter ohalo v'tzur chiro mimeni. Yarum Roshi Oloi Vais Vivotai, Ezbachal Overlozi Vechet Ruha, Ashira Vazamra Ladonai, Shema Adonai Koli Ekra, V'choneni V'aneni, V'cha'amar Libi, V'kshufanai, V'chanecha Adonai Avakesh. Al ta'ater pnecha mimeni, al etat ba'afavdecha esbati haita, al tichenu al ta'azveni Elohei ishi, ki avi ve'ime azavuni v'Adonai asveni, oreni Adonai darkecha, uncheni v'orech mishur ma'an shorai, al תתנני בנפש שרי כי קמו בארץ שקר ויפח חמס. לולא האמנתי לראות בטוב אדוני בארץ חיים, קווה על אדוני חזק בי המת ליבך, וקווה על אדוני.
And I'm actually going to do a different translation than the one you have, but you can follow along. This is Rabbi Aryeh Hirschfield's Psalm 27. A Psalm of David. Yah is my light and my help. Whom shall I fear? Yah is the strength of my life. Whom shall I dread? If an army were encamped against me, I would not fear. If war were waged against me, still I would trust. One thing I ask of you, for this I do yearn, that I may dwell in your house all the days of my life. Behold divine beauty and dwell in that holy kadosh place. On the day of trouble, the Holy One will shield me and lift me to safety. My head will be high above my foes. In the Holy One's tabernacle will I bring offerings of jubilation. I will sing songs of joy to the Holy One. O Holy One, hear my voice when I call. Be gracious to me and answer me. Within my heart, I hear your voice. Seek my presence, you call to me. My Holy One, I seek your presence. Do not hide your face from me. Do not thrust your servant aside in anger. Do not forsake me. Do not abandon me. O Holy One, my deliverer. Though my father and mother will depart from me, the Eternal will take me in. Show me your way, O Holy One, and lead me on a level path because of my foes. Do not subject me to the will of my enemies, for false witnesses and unjust accusers have appeared against me. Had I not had the assurance that I would enjoy the goodness of the Eternal in the land of the living, trust in the Holy One and be strong. Let your heart take courage. Trust in the Holy One. Amen. 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 So, is there anyone who needs to do Kiddush again? If not, I will forego. Yes? No? Okay. I want to close actually with the prayer for after eating because it's so beautiful. And I'm going to, you can, it's a song. So it's not really the blessing after the meal. So it's on my Siddur, page 25. And this is Rabbi Naomi's gorgeous translation of this little piece from the Talmud. I think it's from the Talmud. And I love the teaching that Rabbi Aryeh gave a long time ago when he taught us Brich Rachmana Malka de Alma Marai de Haipita. He said that it says in the Talmud that you only have to say that line in case there's a bear coming in your door or a robber. And so you are exempt from saying the whole thing if there's a bear or a robber. You can just say this line. So I know there's no bear or robber. I don't always want to say, and I rarely do say the long one. It's a beautiful prayer. And I encourage you to increase your tefillah, to look at it sometime. It's a gorgeous prayer, the prayer after eating. And the main thrust of it, I feel like Rabbi Naomi has captured in this beautiful Tzur Mishalo. So it's on page 25 of your Siddur, and it goes like this. And enjoy your dinners, whatever you're enjoying. I hope you've enjoyed them. And if you haven't eaten yet, then enjoy in a little bit. Tzur Mishalo ahanu barhu emunai savanu ve'otanu ki davar Adonai. From your abundance comes the holy food we eat. From your delight flows our wine. We have satisfied our hunger. May our souls be sanctified according to your merciful design. With love and thankfulness we bless your holy name and praise your kindness with our song. May all creatures of this planet find the sustenance they need and thank the one to whom we all belong. May all creatures of this planet find the sustenance they need and thank the one to whom we all belong. Totally a delight to spend Shabbat with you. And I love you all. I'm so glad you were here. Those of you who I know and those of you who I don't, feel free to unmute yourselves. If Cindy wants to stay online, she can. I'm not going to end the meeting. Those of you who want to connect can. The rest of you, however you want to go. I'm going to go downstairs and enjoy dinner with my husband. I love you all. Shabbat shalom.
Lila Tov.
Lila Tov.
Thank you, Nicolita,
You're
Cindy,
welcome.
Harvey, everybody. Thanks. Hey, Brian, let's talk soon.
Yeah, Joe. It's only been what? How long have we been trying to do this?
A year, maybe, probably pretty close.
Harvey,
We'll
Harvey,
connect.
March.
Harvey, it's so nice to
Yeah.
see you.
We'll connect.
Yeah,
Harvey.
I'm looking forward to it. Harvey, you're muted.
Harvey,
Bye, everyone.
it's so good to see. Hi,
Bye, Richard. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Harvey, talk to me in Yiddish for a minute. You want to say something in Yiddish, Harvey?
No, I'm not ready to talk.
For me? What was that?
I'm not ready to talk Yiddish, except
Gute Nacht.
Oy vey.
Oy vey. Oy vey.
Yeah.
Oy vey.
You could add the Ismir.
Guys, schlufen.
Laila Tov. Good Shabbos, everybody. Cindy, thanks.
Shabbos, everybody. Bye.
Yossel.
Yeah.
I miss you, Deva.
I love you. I miss you. Big hug.
Thanks, Deb.
Hug.
Harvey, I didn't call me Harvey.
Bye.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Joe. Good night, Joe. Well, Cindy, I told you I was doing pretty good until tonight.
You know, we're here for you, Rasa. You have a lot. Sounds like this is a really rough week. So we are here for you.
Shabbat shalom. Thanks
Shabbat
for your
shalom.
phone call, Harvey. Meant a lot. When you called a couple weeks ago or a week ago, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, dear. I called you. You were probably still practically in shock, I think. So I was maybe a little early on that. But I'd love to see you one of these days, even at a distance. That would be nice. But, yeah. Are you guys? You guys are still.
Be ill and be safe.
Thank you, Harvey. You too.
Yes, these are tough times.
Yes, these are tough times.
But like I tell people if I confront them wearing my mask, I say, underneath this mask is a smile.
Yeah.
That should be a writing on the mask.
On the mask, yeah. Yeah.
Well, the problem is, I've got masks in every room where I take one off. So, but to be able to say underneath here is a smile, it always gets another smile.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Well, at least here we are kind of in it together.
What's that?
Yeah. Harvey, yes. Are you going to blow the shofar on Friday before Rosh Hashanah starts? And then on the second day of Rosh Hashanah?
I can if I'm asked.
Oh, that'd be great. I'm planning on to it. I think we're gathering, well, it depends on the smoke, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
May not be a good idea to be outside.
I had no trouble.
I can't with my asthma.
Crazy, crazy times, you guys. So good to see you, though.
I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to you, Harvey.
Love you.
Take care.
Look forward to doing this soon. It's uplifting.
Shabbat Shalom, Cindy. Hope to see you in Rosh Hashanah, maybe, in the park if the weather clears.
Yeah, that would be good.
Okay.
That would be good.
Okay.
All right, dear. You take care out there, okay?
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Let's see.